If you're a founder or non-technical person, you might stumble across two different terms when describing a software developer, right? On one hand, you have people that call themselves, yeah, software developers, and on the other hand, you have people that call themselves software engineers. And then, of course, there are different terms that you might have come across with as well, like software architect and so on. But let's focus on software engineer and software developer, right? And I think it's important for you as non-technical person or founder to understand a basic difference between those two. And although it's not a guarantee that you actually get a software engineer when someone calls themselves a software engineer, and you don't always just get a developer when someone calls themselves a developer, but it gives you a basic clue if they or how they classify themselves, right? And how to best test for their skills, right? And also when hiring them, you of course always might need to or can adjust uh, the wage as well because it's justified in some sense. So what is a software developer? And I think in its most basic terms, it's someone who is able to write code, who is able to write software, right? Given enough instructions. And this could be a basic ticket, like in your project management tool, or it could be a bug report or whatever. They're able to debug the issue, fix it, and submit it for review, and so on. Right? So that's the basic idea of a software developer. Of course, some people might dispute that, and there are different perspectives on that. But in general, that's the rough idea. And while this is great, right? A software engineer tends to be a little bit more high level, which means they are able to think for themselves in some sense, right? While software developers, of course, do that as well, right? No offense here, but software engineers try to be more on the architectural side. So basically, a software engineer will question a little bit more. They will evaluate if something should be done in a certain way or could be done differently. So it's already a little bit more strategic thinking, I would argue, a little bit more business focused, like really in a very minimal part, in that sense that they try to save resources in some sense and try to focus on scalability, security, and all these things. So they have a little bit more foresight when it comes to a lot of things, potential technical issues that might arise in future, while software developers are more focused on the task at hand, right? So that's a really basic difference, and I think it really is very helpful for non-technical people or founders to understand that basic difference. Because when you look at LinkedIn and you see someone calling themselves software engineer versus software developer, it gives you maybe a sense of how they view themselves and maybe even their experience itself, right? And as mentioned, there's not a guarantee, and it's, I mean, subjective opinion in some sense as well. Although if you Google both job descriptions, you will see the difference. So it's not just my personal opinion. It's still something a lot of people think. And yeah, I thought I would just share that because definitely might save you from a little bit of hassle.